Hello y'all, and welcome back to the channel. um it's really windy where I'm at today, and I forgot the microphone at home, so we're going to do a little talking in the car. um I'm out here in Linden, New Jersey at Rose Hill Cemetery. I was coming here to see two people, but I just found out there was a third, because it's just an interesting monument that the person has. Uh, but today we're going to visit a woman who was the subject of a very famous photograph that came out of the horrible September 11th attacks. In the media, they called her the Dust Lady. And as you can see why, I'll put a picture up here. But her real name was Marcy Bordersz. And this is her story. Born July 19th, 1973 in Bayonne, New Jersey. And she still resided in Bayonne up to that day. She was 28 years old, and she was just recently hired by the Bank of America, which was in the North Tower, 81st floor. Yes. So as they were sitting there, I believe it was 8:46. Don't quote me on that time. The plane hit the tower. Now it hit between the 93rd and the 99th floor, and she said everybody can hear, can feel it shaking. Everything can, the chairs are rattling and stuff. Her boss came out and said, a small plane might have clipped the side of the building or something. Nothing to worry about. But I guess she just said, fuck that. There's always going to be some sort of damage if a plane hits a building, right? So she left. They didn't have elevators, so she had to walk down 81 flights of stairs. It took her an hour to go from the 81st floor down to the main lobby and out of the building. As she was walking across the street, the building started to collapse. And then you guys seen the videos of these towers collapsing, and the amount of just horrible smoke, ash, everything was coming out, and everything got coated. You remember the pictures of the fire trucks, the police cars, the everything. Oh, hold on, sorry, I'm on the way here. And so it took about an hour to get out of the building, and then once she was across the street, the towers fell, and she just got covered in all those toxins and all those dust, and she fell down. Luckily, there's a man with a camera inside one of the storefronts that found her, grabbed her arm, and pulled her in, and he's the gentleman that took that picture. And then once, I guess she thought it was safe, she walked all the way to the bottom of Manhattan, the tip of Manhattan, and took the ferry home. And that was it. She said the day, September 11th, would stick with her forever. She developed anxiety, severe trauma. She couldn't go into any tall buildings. She had fear of airplanes. And then eventually, she would struggle with alcoholism, which most likely came from all this trauma. I can only imagine. But she wanted to do better. She checked herself into rehab in April 2011, and she was stated as saying, once she found out that Osama bin Laden was killed, She said that took so much pressure off of her and gave her a sense of the ability to move on. But unfortunately, in August 2014, she was diagnosed with stomach cancer. This stomach cancer literally killed her physically and financially. She said she incurred a debt of $190,000, and this wasn't even with surgeries to get the cancer out. This was all immunotherapies and chemotherapy and all that stuff. And she still had more chemotherapy to go. And she just couldn't afford to pay for anything. In an article, she said it had to. Sorry, there's something on the screen. In an interview, she said it had to come from all that stuff that she inhaled in 9/11. She said, but before that, she never had any illnesses. She never had high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, nothing. She was as clean as a whistle. But the cancer would eventually take its toll, and August 24th, 2015, she would pass away from the stomach cancer. There are a lot of businesses and law firms that are out there to help you guys if you know anybody that was there, either a victim or just the toxins and you get cancer. There's a lot of companies out there that'll help you. They'll help with the financial burdens, to try to get you treatments. And then there's cash settlements out there too. The government is paying people money. I'm going to put a link to that stuff, along with a link for Alcoholics Anonymous. You know, Narcotics Anonymous is just as relevant. So I'll post some of that stuff at the end. And it's a little busy in the cemetery today, so, and plus I forgot my little handy stick. So it might be a short walk, but let's go see Marcy Bordersz. Now, y'all, and we are outside. This cemetery is huge. The city of Linden is enormous. There's an airport right behind us. It's nice in here, despite, as you can see, there's Route 1 and 9. So it's a little loud, I guess, if you're over there, but you know, it's a house for the dead. So, but let's go see Miss Bordersz. I like how they all line up like this. And here we are. Marcy. I'm just a goddamn mess today. Need to get my shit together. Yeah. I definitely remember seeing her face all over the news. Alright, y'all. Here comes the links. Alright, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, and comment.